So this question is partition equals subset sum. Now given an integer array nums, return true if you can partition the array into two subsets such that the sum of the elements in both subsets is equal or false otherwise. So we first calculate the total, which is the sum of the nums. Then if this total is not divisible by 2, which means you cannot partition it into two subsets, equal subsets, then we will simply return false. Now target is total integer division 2, because this will give us the equal subset that we want to create. This is what we want to read. So one subset should be equal to this target. So automatically the other subset will also be equal to this target, because target times 2 is total. Now n equals to length of nums. We start by initializing a dp array with false values. Target is the value that we are going to read, so we will iterate through target plus 1 for I in range n plus 1. So this is the size of the nums array. Then for I in range n plus 1, dp of I of 0 will be set to true. So this is the first row. For I in range 1 n plus 1, for j in range 1 target plus 1, you start by initializing the num to nums of I minus 1, and then dp of ij is dp of I minus 1 j. So this dp of ij is basically asking that can we make a subset with some j using the first I numbers. So the first option is that we for every number we will have two choices. Firstly, we either take the number. So this is what we are doing. We do not take the number. Apologies, we do not take the number. So this is what we are doing over here. We are not taking the number, because if we don't take the number, whatever was possible before is still possible, and that's why we are getting the value from the row above. Now the second option is that we take the number. So we can only take the number if number is less than or equal to j. If the number is less than or equal to the jth value, then we take the number. And then we need to understand that whether we could previously make j minus number. So in that case, that's what we are doing over here. We are checking whether we could previously make j minus number, or we just take the value that was in the row above us, so whatever was possible, and then at the end we just return dp of n of target. So this is a full 2D array. Now at every point, again, you're only considering the row above us. So this is the space optimized version. You start in the same way. You get total, you check if it's divisible by 2 or not. If it is not, you return false instantly. If it is, then total divide by 2, you assign it as you calculate your target. You assign the first row, that's the only row you are taking, to be false, and the first value, which is dp of 0, to be true, because if you're not picking anything, your answer will be true. For num and nums, so now you're iterating through every number in your nums array. Then for j in range, now the hack over here is that you're going to go backward. So you start from target, this is your start point, stop is num minus 1, so you end at the num that you are iterating over and you go back. Now dp of j is equal to dp of j. So at this point, this dp of j is technically dp of I minus 1 and j minus 1, or we do the same thing. We calculate that whether we could previously make this j minus num, and then you just return dp target.